1, 2, 3, 4. If your dash looks anything like that or like this video will help you to understand best practices to remove these things. In your way, in removing the dash trim, there will be 9 clips that are holding this big assembly into place. For the first time, BMW has done a proper job in securing the dash trim, ensuring that this doesn't squeak, doesn't make any noises by comparison with other trims on the 5 Series, 3 Series or previous vehicles. But that complexity, or this new assembly with 9 securing clips, is a little bit harder to remove from your vehicle. To address this, my advice is to get first the proper tools. By proper tools, I'm referring to some plastic trim removal tools, and I understand that usually you don't have 2 of each in a set, so you might have to do with a diverse setup of the tools. The idea behind it is, if you're able to introduce the plastic trim removal tools in strategic places, and here I'm referring to start at this edge, but address it with multiple points of insertion. So don't go with only 1, don't go with 2, ideally you would go with 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Take your time on the top bit. Another interesting trick and another interesting tool, you either get a plastic card like this, or you can use your gym card, your credit card that you don't use anymore. The point of this is to spread the pressure on the plastic trim. So my idea is to introduce the things, 1 over here, 1 on the top, 1 on the sides. Avoid using screwdrivers, but as a last resort you can use even something like this, but this for sure will introduce damage. So stay away from this, stay away from knives. With the plastic trim removal tools, after you have lifted a portion of your trim, the idea is to grab it with your hands and start to pull perpendicular with the dash. Avoid twisting it, because that is a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for creating damage. Other good practices, other important things to do. If you have gloves, you have like superhuman powers. Removing trim gets much easier when you have gloves like this. Avoid temperatures that are under 10 degrees Celsius. Plastic becomes really brittle and you really don't want to do anything at low temperature. Avoid going from the top, or when you go from the top, make sure that you're doing it with something that is a little bit more gentle to the dash, because your chances of putting in dents or scratches are quite high when you're doing that. Overall, the most important bit, or the thing that will help you quite a lot, is you don't need to worry about any screws. The dash, the plastic trim, the big trim element is held in place only with the metal clips that slide in those 9 points. After you have done this, you will need a T20 socket, and you are able to remove the radio, the sat nav. This will be one of the things that many of the guys that are searching for CarPlay will be doing, because it's a very necessary step to identify if you have a Wi-Fi antenna and if your sat nav allows for the CarPlay retrofit. If you enjoyed this one, you might also want to see this one, or maybe this one. See you in the next one.